So you might be wondering, after the last two nights on Sportswire Radio, how do we top it? How do we top the last minute 4th of July fireworks from James Taylor? Last night, Ace Christian, the Blaze Ace Christian, certainly set the world on fire with plenty of things he had to say in places like in Iowa and West Virginia. Well, we've got a man on here that's literally the definition of a monster. Now, when I announced him coming on here, the sirens were coming because they knew he was coming on, and maybe they wanted to get me because our guest has got plenty to talk about. We're going to certainly talk about what's going on in the world of 880 wrestling. We're going to talk about most certainly some names that you've seen on this platform. Oh, I don't know. How about this guy, Dave Jamison? Yeah, I think he might have been too big for his britches on that one. How about this guy that was certainly opining for a match with our guest here, Godric Sandwell, the gentleman of exquisite caliber? Yeah, we'll probably bring him up. We're definitely not going to talk about who's smarter than a fifth grader, but I'll definitely bring up those guys from the Indie Vision podcast. How about Tommy Hara? Yeah, we'll bring him up for a minute. Timothy Titan, he's lurking somewhere. Oh, maybe Kevin from Ring Crew. Nah, let's not go there. Even Kevin from Ring Crew's no match for this man, and especially after what he did defending his Wrestling's for Everyone champion as he continues to reign supreme and beat a whole bunch of people. I have no idea what they even did, even standing next to this man. But we'll even talk about that match where he was in the first ever KSWA ladder match. And how about that match he had once upon a time with the Beast Man, where it was almost like Brock Lesnar and the Big Show from SmackDown all over again? I'm sure we'll talk about some other names. We'll get you ready for some other things. Now, I know that our guest is a gaming monster. And I know, like I said, the sirens were coming to get me because the intros are so loud here, and he's maybe one of the biggest men, figuratively and literally, to come on to Sportswire Radio in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage here. But I do things differently, unlike Mr. Hara, Mr. Titan, Mr. Kevin from Ring Crew. So I am going to give you an introduction, sir, that's going to be as fitting as your size, let's just say. And I know that my chat is here. They have about to arrive. And in the famous words of Def Leppard frontman Joe Elliott, let's get rocked, baby, and let's introduce our guest. And I've even got a surprise for him because unlike the Indie Vision podcast, where maybe they want to try to get you to see who's smarter than a fifth grader. By the way, though, Brohemoth is still smarter than Jace Carr, still smarter than Dave Jamison, and even Godric Sandwell. I must give him that introduction to start this evening in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all music and wrestling matters. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one Gavel Smart Show. A man that may call himself a gigabyte grizzly, but he's truly the gaming monster, the reigning, defending, Wrestling's for Everyone champion. His name is simply put, The champ is here, my friend. How are we doing?
That's a hell of an entrance, my guy. Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm good.
You better be good after that, because you know that Titan Horror and Kevin from Ring Crew didn't give you that introduction.
Oh, not one that crazy.
No, no. I will have to tell you, Mr. Brohemoth, that Rhino got this introduction. He felt that he could run through a wall after that. And then I had Savio Vega, who was like, boy, that was different. And he said, I wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. He said, I didn't get that introduction. And then I've had on a bunch of heavy metal bands recently where we've been featured in this website, blabbermouth.net. And some of the singers are like, boy, maybe you can replace James Hetfield of Metallica, and others looked at me like, let's get the show on the road. So you deserve this. It is an honor to have you. We have talked about this here for a bit. And Brohemoth, I'm going to ask you a nice and easy question. No, it's not going to be the sequel to Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? But for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, the gaming monster, have certainly helped build, Sportzwire Radio, to the tune of over 1,500 subscribers. Talk to me about what it means to you to be the Wrestling's For Everyone champion.
It means a lot because I'm a hungry fighter. I'm always looking for a new fight, a new challenge. So the fact that anyone and everyone can step up and take a shot, I couldn't have asked for a better prize.
Yeah, and to take on 4 people the way you did, and to be a champion, it's obviously a great honor. And since you're so hungry, you may be holding this title for, who knows, instead of 21 days, more like 2,100 days. The way you could keep going.
That's
with this.
the goal. I'm gonna ride with this title till my last stand, and if it's my last stand, I'm going down the only way I know how to go down, and that's fighting.
It's interesting. You've been at this a while. You've certainly done a lot. I'm going to put some of your matches up here. We have some stuff to talk about and promote, but I'm always curious when someone like you has been at this for a little while, maybe more so than some of the opponents I'll talk about here in a little while. But what are your goals here for the second half of the year? It's crazy to me that now we're in the second half of 2025, but what are your goals for the rest of the year?
Well, now that I'm the Wrestling's For Everyone's champion, it's defend it as often and as much as I can.
Yeah, it's a good point. No, I mean, to be that champion, it's certainly a great responsibility, and I've got the poster of it here with the title, and boy, you definitely look like you're going to be holding that championship for years to come. And I mean, just look at it; it fits you here like a glove. And I mean, you had a 20% chance of retaining the title, and you still walked out unscathed. I mean, that just shows you the size and the sheer strength that you bring to the table. And I think that's why you're going to be holding this for 2,100 days and some.
Let's go.
Absolutely. No question about that. And obviously, we'll put your Instagram and social media up. Obviously, 880 Wrestling has been your home. You've got some stuff there coming up. You've recently been in action there. You were very successful in your most recent match against Mickey Morris. And talk to me about what's ahead here in the world of 880 Wrestling, as I put up a recent match. Well, not so recent match of yours there, but talk to me about what's coming up here next weekend over at 880 Wrestling.
Well, the 19th, we have MV's Big Ass Barbecue 4, and I know my tag team partner, the Lost Primarch, Johnny Demise, just handled some personal business, and I feel like now it's time for Death Watch to finally get what we want. We want a shot at the 880 tag team titles. Me and Demise have been busting our ass to carry the tag team division. We plan on carrying it all the way to the 880 tag team titles.
And that would be a big responsibility, and to hold those tag team championships, I mean, that would certainly be quite a feat. And you guys might be literally the biggest tag team champions around in size that could be anywhere right now. So if you guys win those titles, that's a big deal. And especially with a barbecue on July 19th, it could be, you said you were hungry, so you could not only be getting a big barbecue, a big meal on the 19th, you could be eating
and
up some
even
gold.
bigger reason to feast.
Yeah, it's exciting. exciting. It's definitely exciting to be to hold those titles, and obviously, I'm going to put up one of your most recent matches there in the world of our friends over at 880 Wrestling, and they got quite a big following on YouTube. I'll get to the chat in a few minutes. I most certainly will, but let's talk about somebody that you wound up eating actually in the ring, and I got that up for the audience, so they'll get a chance to watch along. I like to do things differently, but obviously talk about. I got a chance to watch it on my other channel, but you're in the ring here with Big Jim Fridge, and something tells me here that the fridge isn't too stocked when it comes to comparing with you.
Uh, Compared to me, not yeah, but Fridge can go. I've underestimated him once or twice, and it's cost me. But like, Fridge is always a good fight.
Sure, sure. What kind of competitor is he for the audience? Obviously, it's the first time we're getting a chance to really talk 880 here on Sportswire. But what kind of competitor is Big Jim Fridge?
He's part of the DOJ. They're a pack of jocks. They're all
Yeah.
about drinking beers and being a headache. So
Sounds like some of the kids that I've had trouble with in my neighborhood. Boy, yeah, that sounds like definitely a frat boy there. But 880 is at a frat house, and you seem to be unfazed there. You seem to be very unfazed.
I party with the best of them.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could totally see that. But obviously, he's trying to get you worn down a bit. Obviously, smart strategy from somebody like Big Jim Fridge is try to get you down, wear you down. But you are hungry. You are a gaming monster, and I think he should have maybe turned around. And yeah, you definitely. Let's just say, to quote Duran, was hungry like the wolf, and yeah, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna definitely leave a
Yeah, I
mark.
catch that. You better throw everything you got at me because the second you stop, I'm returning it and then some.
Well, I could see that there. Yeah, I mean, you definitely did that. Look at that splash. Look at that spear. I mean, Goldberg should certainly take some notes from you coming up this Saturday. I mean, maybe Goldberg can give Brohemoth a call and say, "Boy, that was definitely snap, crackle, and pop," to quote the Rice Krispies treats cereal there that I used to eat. But talk to me about wrestling in 880. Definitely reminds me of almost like in an underground vibe without being. You know what it reminds me of actually? If you remember during COVID, they had that segment on Raw. They had
We
those segments where they wrestled kind of like almost in a different environment. What we used to see, it kind of has that vibe where you almost feel like street fights. Shane McMahon
yeah,
was a part of that. And talk to me about wrestling here in this environment over in 880.
we've always been a punk rock style, so like we're always gonna stand out and be different.
I could
And
see
that's the
that.
great thing about 880. There's so many clashes of styles, not just because we'll get guys from New York, we'll get guys from Ohio, West Virginia. Like everyone knows if you're hungry and want to fight, 880 is the place to be.
You know what? That I could see that. It almost reminds me of an analogy that it's like Baskin Robbins. There's 31 flavors, and you literally get 31 flavors of wrestling here in 880. But obviously, Big Jim Fridge is trying to work you
Yeah,
down.
no two fighters are the same.
No, that's always a good thing, though. That is always a good thing, and we'll get to everybody here in the chat. I see some people are starting to arrive, and they'll get their due. Don't worry, they'll get their due. And I have a few shout outs, which I'm going to get to as well. But obviously, how does that keep you on your toes, knowing that there's these different wrestlers from different places? You're obviously a Pittsburgh guy, but
It,
these different
it,
guys come in. How does it keep you on your toes?
I'm always up for a new challenge. So the fact that I can always find a new challenge at 880, whether it's me or Death Watch, like it's always a good time.
Yeah, I could definitely say it's ain't nothing but a good time there. But obviously, you missed there. That would have really listen. He might still be down. They might have to pick him up with a splatter if Big Jim Fridge you would have connected there with that rolling senton there. But obviously, he's trying his best, and we'll put the 880 YouTube link up here in a minute. We'll do that for the audience, and
You're
obviously,
always trying to say IndieWrestling.us.
yeah, I put the handle up. We put it on like the display because it's different. Unlike when you went to the Indie Vision podcast, I'll put the handle up. We'll put the link. It'll definitely be a very visual experience. You're a visual guy, but obviously you are motioning, you are looking up, and it's definitely Thursday night fights here. Yeah, it reminds me of there was an old on USA Network years ago. It used to be Tuesday night fights. They used to have Tuesday night fights, and now we've got Thursday night fights here. So there you go. But you're obviously getting ready. You're getting up, and it's about to be time for you to finish, Mr. Big Jim Fridge, soon. Yeah.
And I don't really remember this one, but I know it was a Fridge gave me a fight.
Well, you know what's good, that because you get to watch it along with us for the first time. That's always good because you wrestle so many matches that sometimes you just it's a good refresher. It's a good almost reminder of what's to come,
Always nice
especially.
to go back and see your mistakes and learn.
Absolutely. Listen, that's almost like anything else. You got to learn from my uncle's line used to always be repetition, repetition, repetition. And this will certainly be a nice little reminder of what's ahead here coming up. But we see some interference. We see it's obviously trying to distract you, but you are Brohemoth. You are the gaming monster, and I don't know if that's going to necessarily work. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. I don't just don't think so. But obviously, we see here it's getting on, and you've obviously went out to the back, and you have been joined. Yeah, you have been joined, and it's going to be on here shortly. And boy, it's you could definitely see the personal battles here, and the people up close. Definitely has a vibe, like you said, like a punk rock concert. Definitely's got that undergroundy vibe. And Big Jim Fridge is still down, and Big Jim Fridge though does get a chance to get up, and that ref is counting. You got to run back out, run back into that ring, Brohemoth, because the ref is counting. You don't want to get counted out after everything you went through here so far. And there he goes, Big Jim Fridge, showing that he's doing everything he can possibly to win this match, and we see here, and obviously for you, yeah, this was not what you had hoped for. Big Jim Fridge has defeated you by countout. You have been defeated by countout, and Big Jim Fridge gets a victory. And thanks for playing, but July 19th will be different. You just know it'll be different.
Oh yes.
It'll be different. And Big Jim
I
Fridge,
think Fridge gets something from his troubles with this one.
well, Big Jim Fridge acts like he just won the lotto here. And you are obviously down. And Big Jim Fridge is definitely going to better turn around here shortly. But obviously, I think your tag team partner is going to maybe do the honors. And Big Jim Fridge is definitely going to be stuffed like somebody would be out of the fridge. And yeah, I think maybe he
gets
would have
a drop site, man.
I think maybe I would have took the pinfall instead. It would have been quicker. It would have been quicker. But obviously, Big Jim Fridge wins. But as they always say, he may have won the battle, but he most certainly lost that war, because he took that on the chin, figuratively and literally. And you guys do stand tall, and exciting stuff. Very exciting match. Very exciting atmosphere there in 880 Wrestling. And shout out to our friend over at Sidekick Media, the Wrestling Mayhem Show. They're live right now, indiewrestling.us. I'll put their handle up in a minute. And they got 17,000 plus subscribers. So really exciting stuff. Check them out. A lot of content, a lot of 880 content. So definitely please support them. And we would
guys always catch my best angles.
No, well, they got 17,000 plus subscribers, so they must be doing something right here. And definitely check them out. And we'll put the sub button there right now. There you go. So if you're there, you're seeing it for the first time, I would highly recommend that. Yep. Yeah, because it's Brohemoth. If Brohemoth's telling you to do it, you most certainly want to do it there. Okay, so obviously we'll come back to that. I want to go down memory lane though, and play a match for you that we'll play a little bit of it, because which is really cool, because you wound up actually wrestling years ago, one of your earlier times in your career, which I thought would be a good watch along, because you seem to like them and you're a big man. I don't want to get you too mad, but we'll take the volume down. But you're in you're a ladder match. You're the first ever one in KSWA. And what is your memories of this?
That match was pure chaos.
I could see that. Addicted to chaos. Yeah, I could see that.
It was a hell of a night. That was probably one of the roughest matches I had in KSWA.
How do you prepare for a match like this, especially at a younger point in your career, without the hair and all these different opponents? I mean, how do you prepare for something like this?
Back then I was as ready as I could be.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting, and obviously, I mean, talk to me about just is there a strategy going into something like this?
Keep everyone down because
No.
ladders are not your best friends.
Oh well, wow. Okay. Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. Well, Courtney's here, and I'm gonna go to Courtney first before I get to a shout out. She wanted to say, ask him about the ladder match he had at CRW when the ladder wouldn't break or bend at all. So, yeah, let's because Courtney's here, and Courtney will slap me over the head if I don't bring it up because she liked my video mentioned with the sirens, who is
That
obviously.
ladder match hurt.
So, are
'Cause-
you still feeling the effects of that?
oh no, but
No.
that one had me messed up for a couple of days. The young bro was not ready for that match.
Well, how would Brohemoth today probably? Well, he's so big that he would just figure out how to. How about
It
that? How
wouldn't have
about
been
that
the
spot?
same way that it happened.
Well, how about that spot right there? I mean, boy, that was definitely a memorable spot.
A
Look at
lot
that
of people
crowd
falling
there.
over at that
Oh
point.
my goodness, boy, yeah, we're not getting this match in 2025, but this was definitely. Did you know at the time that this was the history-making match here, the first ever ladder match?
Yeah, when they told me I was in it, they let me know that they wanted to book this match, and that it was the first time they wanted to do it, and they were like, "We want you in it," and I was like, "I ain't gonna say no."
And how big was that for you in your career at that time? This is an earlier point in your career, and I
I
mean,
believe this was my first ever ladder match,
yeah,
so this was very exciting for me.
it's got to be definitely something that you think about a lot. And Courtney was actually there, by the way. She was there. It was 2 minutes from her house. Battle under the
Uh,
bridge.
always,
Did
always a
Courtney,
crazy
did
event.
Courtney do the count? He's got to 5. Did she do the count then? Even then?
There were no rope breaks in this match, so she couldn't have done it.
Okay, well, she would have just maybe counted anyway because she likes to have that count there. But I do want to give a couple of shout outs while we're watching the match here. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Cortez. Cortez is out there, and apparently Cortez seems like he's on a suicide mission to want to become a wrestler. But no, I'm kidding. But no, he does want to wrestle. He says he wants to become a wrestler. And I told him we're going to have this really big giant Brohemoth here, and he's going to probably tell you why you shouldn't be a wrestler and why maybe you should maybe reevaluate your plans. No, Cortez is a good man, and he's going to definitely do some great things. Maybe he'll be on Sportswire one day. Maybe he'll be wrestling, and maybe we'll talk about him. But thank you, Cortez, and shout out to our lovely friend. We have this lovely lady friend that we've been, trying as much as we can, Brohema, to praise. Her name is Abby, and Abby was a little bit upset with me earlier, but I think I got it all nipped in the bud. But we say hello to her, the lovely Abby, and maybe she'll want to maybe come on
Hello,
sports.
Abby.
Maybe she'll want to come on, and maybe she'll become a wrestler. Who knows? But she probably wants to choke me out after that. But that's okay. Hope you're doing a nice evening here and enjoying the show. And thank you for brightening our day and brightening our day being with us here. But obviously, as we're here with Brohemoth, who is certainly the gaming monster, and I mean, so at this point in the match, this is a long match. We'll watch as much of it as we can. Is there a point in the match where you figure out, okay, you know what? I've got my feet under me. I see what some of these guys are doing. Maybe I bide my time, come in here, and is there anything like that here and such?
I believe there is a moment I was chilling outside waiting for it to slow down a bit so I could bring it to an abrupt stop for a second.
Hmm. Well, you're gonna obviously get some of that there, and we'll certainly watch along with some of that. But how do you feed off the crowd here? Obviously, a big
Oh,
environment.
that
Yeah,
crowd was crazy. Like the energy there was stadium feeling.
yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I could see a little bit of that raucous type of environment, especially at an early stage in your career. I mean, it's got to even feel more the adrenaline going through you than it would today because now you've been doing this a while. You've obviously been in different places, you've been doing different things, but at that point in your career where you're still a relatively more up and coming wrestler, it had to even mean more to you.
Oh yeah, it was a new challenge and a new test. I'm always looking for. the next challenge, the next test, the next reason to step my game up.
Well, that's what I'm trying every night on Sportswire, especially with our friend Abby watching. But we'll have to see that. But that was a very a nice, almost famouser there a little bit. But obviously, we see the ladders come out, and yeah, it is under the bridge. I could see where Courtney said this actually reminds me of almost like an overpass. I mean, that's got to be a really
Ah,
interesting thing there. I mean, I don't think many people can say that they've wrestled under a bridge. It almost reminds me maybe they should have had the Red Hot Chili Peppers under the bridge being played throughout the entire show because literally it reminds me of that. I have no idea why, but it's well under a bridge.
that's the name of the show, Brawl on the Bridge.
Yeah, well, Courtney's reminding me about that. Thank you, Courtney. But obviously, it's really interesting. I mean, not many people can say they've wrestled under a bridge. I mean, really, some people want to sell you a bridge, but obviously, some people like Abby want to throw me over a bridge, but that's okay. But we're obviously watching. But you get back up. Finally, you get back up here. You've gotten back up after about over 4 minutes, and here he is. The gaming monster is
Yeah,
here. And he's looking, and look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Just look at this square off here between two giants. The gaming monster gets back up here on his feet. And look at this here. Look at the sheer power. I mean, this was Mark Henry couldn't do this in his prime. Look at that. Boy, ladies and gentlemen, look at the power, the sheer strength of Brohemoth. And yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, that's not going to work. Yeah, definitely. You might want to try two guys on him, three guys on him. Yeah, that's what it's going to take because that's why he's gaming's monster for a reason. Yeah, that's what you got there, ladies and gentlemen. And but that's what it takes. But some very powerful offense there from you there.
oh, I'm not done yet.
Well, I could say, I mean, I know. I watched it before I came on because obviously I cheated off Kevin from Ring Crew, Timothy Titan, and Tommy Horror because they interviewed you and they talked about the ladder match. So I went and watched the ladder match because that's what you do here. But yeah, I mean, so we're watching this, and you're seeing these different guys, and you come right back up, thankfully, and you just continue to show what you've become today. Just very impressive power, the sheer power of Brohemoth. Yeah, definitely very powerful, more powerful than my voice or faster than a speeding bullet. That's for sure. But you get back up here, and you can see
That's
some
a
of your
hard competition.
yeah, I would say that, and I think what you do as a big man, you really bring some versatility to the table. You've got some agility, you've got some power moves, you can do some different things, and I think that's why you've become what you've become today. And I could certainly see now what the guys are trying to do, but yeah, I don't think that's going to work. Yeah, I think that he was an ill, far-sighted move from some of the guys here in the match, but we are watching, and if you want to go follow, it's on the YouTube channel of KSWA and some others. And we have some people here enjoying this, maybe at my expense. I will say hello to, I'll cheat and say hello to my friend Justin Parsley, who cut his hair, Brohemoth. You've grown your hair. He's cut his hair. I mean, he should grow his hair back, but that's okay. He hosts trivia, by the way. He's maybe looking to do some Jeopardy trivia with you. No, he's actually the hall monitor of Sportswire Radio. So maybe he remembered he has to show up for work today. But Mr. Parsley's here, and Mr. Parsley's obviously my wingman because he's obviously going to tell Abby that's watching this that she should certainly stay here every night. But obviously, yeah, we'll get to Cortez, young Cortez. We'll get to you in a minute. But I mean, you're coming back up. You are coming back up, and there was some smoke there. I mean, what was that?
I, that might be somebody vaping. That might be a smoke machine. I'm not positive.
Wait a minute. They didn't have. Did they have vapes in 2018? I don't remember them having vapes.
They did.
Did they have vapes in 2018? I don't remember vapes in 2018.
I do.
You do? I remember e-cigarettes. Remember the e-cigarettes? Everybody was like, oh, you got to have an e-cigarette. I don't smoke, but it was always like, everybody was like, you got to have the e-cigarettes. I mean, I don't remember vaping, but maybe somebody was vaping. Yeah. Well, there it goes. It looked like some kind of fire extinguisher in the background. Mr. Parsley's not too happy.
There are people throwing random weapons in between there.
Well, you were in a match, by the way, where fans bring weapons match. I mean, anybody brings a weapon. I mean, boy, I mean,
I was.
Right now, Justin Parsley wishes that you in that match you had that I was the weapon that you would have been throwing around because he's very upset with my comment about his haircut. He doesn't seem to like it, but that's he'll be okay. He'll get over it. He's a big boy. But I have some people. We'll get to you. But Brohemoth has gotten up, and boy, yeah, it takes a lot to take you down. By the way.
Oh, it does.
Yeah, it does. And how about that, ladies? But you missed. You went for the high rent district, and yeah, maybe that was you want to do over.
Okay.
And Courtney wanted to know, as I drink, was the bubble machine used here?
No, that was me versus Mitch.
Oh, maybe I should have played that one, but I only got so much time with you. Yeah, Justin Parsley, you're adorable. You are adorable, but I still prefer the longer hair. But that's a different show for a different time. But
Yeah,
now
we're
the
all hair gang over here.
you know what? I've got mutton chops, and they're actually real, and they're real. They're not a toupee or anything like that. But obviously, your opponents are using the ladder, and it's real. I mean, I've got to ask you a question. I've been doing this a long time. I've been covering wrestling for 5 years. I've interviewed all different people over the world, but how painful is that ladder actually when you go out and you're taking it from your opponents? Talk to me about that.
Oh, like it's a metal ladder. There's no like pretending that don't hurt. It hurts, especially when there's two people swinging it at you.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, they don't look like paper ladders. They don't look like plastic ones. They look like they hurt. Yeah, that reminds me when I had my first job, Mr. Brohemoth. I had with my uncle in Greenwich, Connecticut, and he wanted me to go up the ladder, and he held the ladder, and it was like metal, and it was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be a painter. I don't think that's going to be my future. But I tried. But we did live by the WWF offices at the time. So hey, that's an experience for itself. But I'm watching this match, and just what a brawl, what a war here, what a war, Mr. Brohemoth.
It was for, I believe, the Brawl on the Bridge Championship. So
Yes.
Of course, everybody's going to push their limits.
Yeah, well, I could see that. I don't blame them. I mean, listen, I try to push my limits all the time on here. But you can see the ferociousness there. Yeah, I mean, you're just, doing whatever you can here in an environment like this. And you could see, and, does the darkness add anything, by the way? Battle Under the Bridge, darkness. Obviously, everybody wants the lights, but is there an issue there with that and the lighting and being able to...
It can kind of throw the depth perception off because I'm pretty sure some of those things came flying that I caught with my face.
Well, I'm glad you didn't lose your vision. I'm glad you didn't lose your vision at least. I mean, that's that's always a good thing. But
I was blind back then.
well, I'm sure some people would like me to be blind after some of my comments yesterday and here on the show. And we're certainly we'll fast forward it. I want to get to the chat, but I mean, we see you get back up, and you should have stayed down.
Oh, I couldn't stay down if I wanted to. That crowd is...
Well, you got hit in the ladder just
about
a minute ago. Well, you got hit in the ladder just before. That's why I say you should have stayed down. Should have pulled the Randy Orton strategy years ago in the Royal Rumble. Just stay there, laid around, and bide your time, and you would have won. But now you got even more pain. Yeah, no pain, no gain, I guess. Yeah, well, that's the hip.
My mom always said, if you're gonna be dumb, you better be tough.
Well, you know what? I'm not tough, but I'm pretty dumb. So you know what? Obviously, that's advice I should have took. I should have listened to your mom. Obviously, your mom's obviously a genius. But this is some war here. We will definitely get to everybody here in a minute. And do you enjoy matches like this? Do you want to wrestle? I know you talked about you want to wrestle different people. You want to wrestle people from different places. But do you like matches like this? Do you want to be in
Oh yeah, the more bodies, a 7-8 person. I've been in a match where there's been too many people. This was good. This was fun chaos.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. There's certainly a thrill of it all. I mean, there's definitely some toward that, and I see you've gotten back
It,
up.
it,
And
it it allows the creative juices to flow for the violence.
I can see that. Yeah, I mean, listen, I get the deathmatch guys on here, and they certainly they can create, they can paint a picture. Let's just say that we've had all those interesting deathmatch guys. Jimmy Controversy's been here. I've had Hardcore. I've had Mikey Anarchy. A bunch of different guys in the deathmatch. Cato. I have a guy in my chat, Ox McCoy, who Justin Parsley's friends with. I'm surprised he's not here. He would love this match. This would be his Christmas in July, but. We'll have to figure that out. Okay, I'm gonna take this off the screen. I think we've obviously watched a lot of the match, and you've certainly done a lot here. I want to get to everybody in the chat. I want to give you something, Mr. Brohemoth. I want to talk to you about some current events and some other people that you've wrestled, and make an announcement for Thursday's show, which I certainly think some people here that are tuned into will definitely want to tune into, and we'll take this off the screen and for now. And if you want to follow some of this stuff, you can, and you can do that right here over at this link. And yeah, we're gonna get to you. I see you in the chat. People, you're getting requests left and right. Yeah, we'll get to you. Don't you worry. But hit the sub button. You can watch this and many other matches, and thank you, everybody, for tuning in, especially our very, very lovely friend, Abby. And Cortez, I see you. I'm going to get to you, Cortez. And he's got a question, and I'm not sure why he'd want to ask or poke the tiger like Brohemoth. But if you are here, hit the sub button for me. But Zilla is my number one fan. She comes to every show I have on Sportswire, and she is very happy to see you. And good to see you, Zilla. Thank you, Zilla, for being here.
What up, Zilla?
Love Zilla, and it's different when you did the Indie Vision podcast. There was no fans, there wasn't any interaction. It was just Horror, Titan, and Kevin from Ring Crew just trying to interrogate you. We got the people involved here. There's Courtney, who's obviously the very best out there, WVWF, and she writes for Slam Wrestling, and she's covered Daphne. She's covered pretty much it all, and she's reminding you, bro. Yeah, well, yeah, he's here. And I see you. Nice to see you too, bro. And hello. And thank you very much. And speaking of people who, I'm sure you've heard about this guy. You've definitely been in locker rooms with him. And he just wants to say this in caps locks. Hello, Brohemoth, and yours truly. And his name is Daniel Tafu. And he's got a death wish. I mean, if it wasn't enough with him and the Soul Taker, it seems like now he wants you, sir. That's a bad idea for the USWA Universal Champion.
I mean, I can become a belt collector if he wants to be so brave. Like, it's another body. Like,
and he couldn't win.
I'm pretty sure his friends know about me. I don't know why he's trying.
Yeah, his friends. His friends. We're gonna get to his friends. Don't you worry about that. I want to say hello to my very good buddy, Mr. Eddie Pizzo. Eddie has a website that we are all excited about. He is trying to change the wrestling world as we know it. He has belts and a ring. He is trying to set something up. We are trying to help with him in that. It is duelthat.com. It is challenge, compete. Maybe we'll see Brohemoth collect those rings and belts that Eddie has because nobody will want to step in the ring with Brohemoth. I wouldn't blame them. It's almost like why maybe Abby should probably stop talking to me after the last 4 days, but that's okay. Brohemoth, I'm just going to keep going with it because you know what? I know I'm way out of my league. But there you go. Duelthat.com. Definitely Eddie has been a supporter, a constant one. So please go out and support. It's a new thing. Challenge, create, compete, win. We could see wrestlers compete. We vote. You compete. You share. You win. It's almost like rinse, repeat, and repeat. There you go. Speaking of people that are here, Thursday, we talk about Timothy Titan coming on here. That's right. Timothy Titan will be here Thursday night. But speaking of somebody... Oh, I'm excited about Timothy Titan because I've been trying to get him back on for like a month and a half. We keep getting rescheduled. But now he's saying that he's got no more fireworks left in his house. He'll just put the rest of the fireworks on the board. Yeah, but he'll be here Thursday about 10 o'clock. And speaking of people who have plenty of fireworks here, James Taylor Sunday night would like to say hello. He's got 130,000 followers, by the way. Hit the sub button for the guys over in 880. And I'm going to get to you, Cortez. You're not Mike Tyson, but I'll get to you in a minute. James is definitely here. and we answered Courtney's question. Yes, hello to everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Courtney loves this match. She was there. We talked about that. Thank you, Courtney, for that. Courtney will be here soon, and I bet I did it anyway. Yeah, she see there to me. I knew what I was talking about. She definitely counted to 5. Absolutely, and you were her second ever interview years ago, and that was very nice of you.
I
Just
remember that interview.
you were a gentleman, Brohemoth. You coming on here on
I believe
Sports.
that was my first ever interview.
Wow. Well, that was nice of you. You're a gentleman, Brohemoth. By even you coming on here on Sportswire, coming to this crowd. I mean, I give you a lot of credit.
Hey, I'm always down to speak my part.
Yeah, well, you're a gentleman. You're a gentleman and a Rhodes Scholar. And actually, you are a Rhodes Scholar because you were on the Indie Vision podcast. You did better, by the way, than Godric Sandwell, supposed to be the gentleman of exquisite caliber, Jace Carr, and Dave Jameson, a man who found out the hard way once upon a time about wrestling you in the ring. So you actually are a gentleman and a Rhodes Scholar. Well, yeah, it was fun.
I'm always up for playing the outsmarting game.
Well, yeah, you're definitely.
And I am part of the 5th grader.
Well, I could see why. Yeah, it definitely did feel like a big crowd. It did feel like that sizable, packed, like you said, like a club show. Like my friend playing in a band, Anthony Finkel. And Justin Parsley, the whole monitor is here, very upset with my earlier comment. But obviously, my buddy Cortez has decided that, well, he really wants to be a wrestler. He says, I'm the real killer and I'll take on anyone who sends a country. He's a young, he's learning. He's got to train first. Cortez, you got to train. You got to get out there. You get out there one day, Cortez, when Brohemoth's retired.
That'll be the day.
Yeah, well, that's like 30 years from now. So Cortez is, he's still Cortez will learn from watching Sportswire shows. But Cortez, we love Cortez, but Cortez is going to have to learn. He's going to have to, obviously grow up a little bit, stay in school. So my advice to Cortez is stay in school. Obviously, listen to your parents, do the right things in the house.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
Yeah, do that stuff. Do all that stuff. Drink your milk if people still drink milk, if that's a thing, obviously, get exercise, hit the gym, but yeah, we want to certainly see you do those things first. Then we'll bring you out there in the wrestling ring. I got to say hello to my buddy, though, Silas Walker. My buddy Silas Walker. Why is my buddy Silas Walker important? Silas Walker was there a few weeks back at a show that from a company that we really can't mention, but you were obviously a part of some of that company once upon a time. And he is my good buddy, Mr. Silas Walker. He is the GM of DBW. And Silas is here. And he's a very, very fascinating fellow, Silas. I don't know if you got a chance to meet him, but he was over there watching the show, one of the last ones we could talk about.
He can always find me at 80 Wrestling. We down in the South Side.
Yeah, I got to ask where he lives. Maybe Silas is nearby. Well, how far are you from the old place we can't talk about? How far are you guys from there, from the old place?
I think we're like a half hour, 45 minutes from there.
Oh, he can make it then. Yeah, Silas could definitely make that. Yeah, we'll give him a ticket. Silas, you want to go? We'll buy you a ticket. Yeah, you want to show up July 19th? Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up. Yeah, hit me up there. But do all that, baby. Thank you very much.
Hey,
and I'm also. Yeah, we love Eddie, and Cortez wants to say he's on the
around, but they said,
yeah,
he's on the what?
He's on the wrestling team. Cortez is on the wrestling team in school, so he's learning. But we'll move on. Yeah. Justin Parsley didn't like my hair, the reference, but now Daniel Tafua, he's on a death wish. Speaking of guys that want to step up, he still wants you. You sure? I mean, he had problems with Soul Taker, and by the way, was in a match with somebody you've wrestled in Pepper Pride.
Yeah, except unlike him, I beat Pepper.
Well, because you're Brohemoth. He's Daniel Tafua. Well,
hey, if he wants to step up, I got no problem introducing his feet to the back of his head.
He's gonna have an opinion on that. We'll come back to him. And yes, you might be adorable, but he has amnesia, so we'll give him a pass. We'll give him a pass. We talked about that. We got that in. We remember but we talked about that. And by the way, I mean, I don't know if I can show the match but I can talk about Pepper Pride, the Indie Vision champion. Speaking of Pepper, who was our Indie Vision wrestling champion. What was your memories of wrestling Pepper Pride?
That one hurt, but I won.
By the way, I got to give a
That's
big
all I
shout
need to remember.
well, that's a good point. And I got to give a big shout out to Pepper. In addition to being our indie wrestling podcast champion, Pepper's wrestling in Canada coming up here. I don't know if you saw that, but Pepper is now going north of the border. I hope she has a passport.
I hear whispers that she might be coming my way.
Well, she don't want the smoke again. You don't think she wants that, right? Again?
Not like me. Oh no, she learned once. I think she learned her lesson. She don't want to do that again.
I think I'm going to have to learn my lesson from after talking about Cortez and the lovely Abby. They're not too happy with me right now. But yeah, Pepper Pride is very impressive. And I have a connection with Pepper Pride because Pepper Pride is a protege of the man I interviewed, Rhino, the man beast Rhino. And she comes from the Insane Wrestling Revolution world of wrestling. So she's friends with some of my buddies, James Fury, Sam El Jami. Who also come from there. And
I know James Fury. I've wrestled him.
You know James Fury? My man James Fury. I know James Fury for quite a while. You know James Fury.
Yeah. He's solid competition.
Yeah. Well, James Fury's got his own issues to worry about right now. James Fury's going to Canada. Also, by the way, he's on the same show as Pepper Pride. James Fury is was an MLW. By the way, he got into a spot last year in MLW. I don't know if you saw that, but he was an extra in a segment.
I don't think I saw that.
Yeah, he was there. They gave him a spot, and then it was one of the bigger spots in MLW last year. Yeah, and he's definitely come a long way. And James Fury is a guy that I know very well. He's got his own promotion, and he's been very, very impressive. So I'm going to definitely say hello. I'm going to make sure that James Fury knows we'll get this clip. You want to say anything to James Fury? Anything you want to tell him? So I'll make sure he hears this in a little while. Okay.
I would definitely like to run that back.
Well, we'll make sure that we'll make sure he hears this. And I want to give a big shout out to, for whatever reason, he seems like he's on a mission. But let me give my buddy Cortez a little plug. He's on Instagram. You want to follow him? He seems like he wants to dream, and he's dreaming big. Listen, $1 in a dream. You want it, Cortez? I put your Instagram up, and you want to be in the wrestling world? Who knows? But
you're in Brooklyn. You can probably you need to go find the Fallout shelter. I believe TTT Brooklyn. They're in Brooklyn. I believe they're out there.
You really want to go down that road? My friend Chris Urban, who's the Urban Warrior, he trained from this guy you probably heard of named the Amazing Red. He trained out of the House of Glory Dojo. I mean, I actually went to the House of Glory Dojo, believe it or not. No, they didn't throw me out of there, but I went there and I watched Low Key was on the card. Low Key was on there, Amazing Red, and I was there, went to their show twice. I went to Terminal 5, and then I went to the dojo, and it's not too far from there. So, yeah, Cortez, you want to be a wrestler, go follow Cortez, Josh, JOZ, XH143. So check him out, JOZXH143. So there you go, Cortez. Who knows? But you've gotten the giant awaken here. Who else we got here in the chat? We got a lot of people. I got to read. Yeah, I got Pepper. And Cortez. I think Cortez needs training first. Let's move Cortez off to the side. But I'll tell you what. How about you? How about you, Daniel Tafu, and how about Jace Carr in a ladder match? A man that you know very well. I would even throw out there in there, maybe Dave Jameson, Godric Sandwell, all the Indie Vision Wrestling podcast guests. I've been talking about that, Brohemoth. I want to see all the Indie Vision podcast guests wrestle in the ring.
I mean, if you're going to put all that many people in the ring with me, I got no problem starting a body count.
I've said that. Kevin from Ring Crew was like, no comment. Timothy Titan's here Thursday. I'm going to make sure Timothy Titan knows about that. So I would love to see you wrestle all of those guys, the Indie Vision Wrestling podcast, because Dave Jamison, Day'll probably do a Facebook Live about this after we get off the air, because Dave's been good at those Facebook Lives. He might do 4 hours on this one.
Yeah. I'll probably fast forward through like 3.5 hours of it, maybe
You know what?
3 hours 45 minutes.
I shouldn't say this, but one of my recent guests who has no affiliations with the Pittsburgh wrestling scene messaged me, and they said, "Hi, how are you?" I'm like, "I'm good." And did you hear about the Dave Jamison Facebook Live? I'm like, "Yeah, I didn't watch it though, but I knew what it was about." Because I don't think it was a good idea to sit through all of it, because I'm sure there were probably, things that we'll just say go to the next comment. But there you go. Mentions of Abby over and under, like probably 50 tonight. I say 50. Let's go with 50. Last 2 nights was probably maybe 40. So let's do 50. I'll say 50. But he'll count. He's the hall monitor. But yeah, how you doing there, Abby? Yeah, I hope you are enjoying the show, and hope you come back. Hit the sub button, the follow button for Dooley. And Justin Parsley is the PWF champion. He is the King of Palo winner. And he's also in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame 8 times. And he got a haircut. That's what I'm focusing on most. Yeah, well, I'm gonna put you in the Hall of Fame. I got something for you. I can't spoil it though. I do got something for you. 369 days. And here's Mr. Tafua. You beat Pepper. I got cheated because the Soul Taker choke slammed Pepper on Mickey Knuckles and won. But I might be the best to outsmart you in your very own match, a tables match, Sir Bro.
Match I'm undefeated in? Are you sure about that? How many table matches have you had? Champion. But has he ever wrestled me? Because
no, but he's wrestled.
I mean, he wants to do a ladder match. We can put both our belts at the top and see who walks away.
Maybe he'll then have a change of
mind.
Not
a spoiler, just the fact it's gonna be me.
Well, I mean, I guess then maybe he'll have a change of thought. Justin Parsley's enjoying the episode. It's a good reference here. A real Brohemoth Rhapsody. Yeah, it's been a interesting show tonight. We watched some of your matches. We have a few other things to get to, and the vaping looks good. Yeah, follow Cortez on Instagram, and but he does respect you at least, and we respect you. And I have a surprise for you, Mr. Brohemoth. No, it's not Daniel Tafua in a red video, and I will give you something here on the air. And I want to do it because I am certainly not going to challenge you in the ring. I am not dueling you in the ring, but it is Brohemoth Day here on all Sportswire radio platforms. Congratulations. You have your own day, and not to be confused with Dave Jamison, and it's your day, and congratulations.
I appreciate that.
You deserve it. No, you definitely deserve it, and we'll give you the physical copy when we are off the air, and you have done so much for our sport, and I appreciate you being here, and we're going to ignore Cortez's comment because Cortez has still got to get out there. He's got to learn. We want to certainly respect our elders in Brohemoth.
You gotta eat your Wheaties, kid.
He's got it. You know what? Do they still make Wheaties, by the way? Has anybody even had Wheaties recently? So I got to ask you a fun question. They call you the gaming monster. So how does gaming impact your wrestling career? I was listening to what you were saying with the Indie Wrestling Podcast boys, but how does the gaming world impact your wrestling career?
It's my favorite way to unwind. Like it's I would say it's synonymous with Brohemoth because when I'm not wrecking in the ring, I'm wrecking in games.
So what are some of your favorite games to play?
Right now, me and the crew, we play Rematch. That's the big one we're on right now.
Okay. I know everybody plays Call of Duty, everybody plays Fortnite, everybody plays Madden, everybody plays certain titles, but what are some of your favorite titles?
I'm really big on Smite right now. Okay. Smite's always fun. I play World of Warcraft when I got time. I haven't played Call of Duty in a while, but I might pick that back up over the weekend.
Well, a lot of people play that game, and if you want to see some of the content that Brohemoth has, he's got an Instagram page, and he's got a lot of followers. He's got a lot of stuff out there, and 50,000 megapixels of pure ponage, and he's definitely got that. You can see him in a lot of places, and check out his stuff. A lot of clips. He's definitely the gaming monster, and former sponsored athlete. Very impressive. 50,000 megapixels of pure pawnage. Yeah, he's definitely pawning his opponents and pawning them, or whatever you want to call that. But yeah, definitely check him out. And speaking of things I wanted to talk about, you wrestled a match with Beastman. I got to put up for a few minutes before I let you go. I mean, the match literally was like Brock Lesnar and the Big Show. You guys could have broke the ring. What are your memories of that match during COVID, nevertheless?
Oh, that one. Because I think we fought 2 more times after that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys literally, I mean, you were almost like the small guy in that match.
That's a rare occasion that happens. Oh yeah, RSW. Oh, that was a.
Yeah, during COVID. As a matter of fact, it's almost a 5-year anniversary.
It is. Holy cow.
July 17th, 2020. Today is July 8th. I mean, that's crazy.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, well, I figured, I mean, show what you've done and to see where you are. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a war. And I mean, what was that like wrestling during COVID, where you were one of the few people to go out there and wrestle?
It was it forced a lot of style changes because like you're used to working crowds and groups of people, and now you're most of the time you're working the camera.
It's a good point. It's a good point. No, it's because obviously you're used to wrestling in an environment, and guys feed off the fans, and you obviously have a limited amount of fans, but you're out there at least. And I interviewed a lot of British wrestlers, especially during COVID, and they didn't even go out and go to a gym for like a year and a half. So at least you're out there still competing. So it definitely had to amp you up there. And there's no question that the Beast Man.
Yeah, there were few and far opportunities when COVID hit.
Yeah, I remember I was here. I was doing this. I was doing this, and I was speaking to guys, and I felt bad for them. I mean, I was like, guys couldn't go out to the gym. Guys couldn't do anything in certain places. I had a guy actually from Brooklyn, a pro wrestler. I interviewed him years ago, and it was like, he made like, it was funny. He took like water and plastic bags and tied them up and just would lift them. I don't know how he did that, but he was doing all these kind of different things, building his own home gym and different things like that. But you're out there in the ring, and you're wrestling a guy like this. What is that like for you, though, wrestling a guy that's, you're almost the smaller guy in a match like this, almost like a rare outing? That must feel so awkward for you.
I'm still going to keep fighting whether I'm the little guy or not. It's the bell rung, so there's only one thing to do: try and win.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. That's a very, very, very good point there. And you certainly do your best to do some of that.
What else does? I try to chop down the big tree.
Well, that's the way to go. I mean, hopefully Cortez learns about that, and Daniel Tafua seems to be convinced. He is convinced that he's going to wrestle you and beat you, and he's going to beat the streak. And he's this. I tell you what, Daniel Tafua has a lot. He has got a lot of gumption, Mister Brohemoth, and I say that very kindly to you, sir.
There's a line between gumption and stupidity.
Well, I mean, I guess
because everybody's brave till they get punched in the face.
Well, Dave Jamieson certainly seemed like he wanted to step up to you too, and Daniel and Day are peas in a pod. They're tag team partners, they're buddies. But I guess maybe
and he can get put through a table too, just like his partner.
The apple doesn't fall too far from the tree, I guess, in that sense.
They're like dodo birds.
I haven't heard that reference in a while. That's just funny that you brought that up there. And well, I mean, they obviously have their ways of doing things, but you certainly have your way of wrestling the Beast Man. And yeah, he almost reminds me of almost Big Hoss, almost just a big guy, almost just Chad Gable's tag team partner is what he reminded me of. Just almost that same look, almost almost a little bit of mix of a Trevor Murdoch in there in the ring. Got that almost same, obviously a little bigger, but he's got that almost look and that kind of style. And certainly makes for an intriguing match. And you're getting upset there, bro. You're actually right now about as upset as you are at Daniel Tafua.
Beastman hits harder.
Yeah, well, I could see that. Well, I mean, listen, Daniel Tafua, he'll tell the world why, but you certainly putting up a hell of a match there. And there's a spot in the match where the ring almost breaks. And I have to ask you, did you guys think that the ring was going to break?
At one moment I did. But that West Virginia ingenuity, them rings are tougher than they look.
Oh, I know. I know a lot about the West Virginia wrestling circuit at this point. I mean, you've wrestled Dax Preacher. Certainly, Dax Preacher in the WVWF always get talked about on here. And Beefomania, you knocked down Beefomania a little bit. You've obviously wrestled Dave Jameson and Daniel Tafua. Yeah, I know. I watched it. I talked about it, and obviously Daniel Tafua's spear hits harder. Well. I guess maybe he wants to be next like Goldberg. Who knows?
And then he woke up.
Well, he's not.
He's
it's
eager
real.
to get beat up.
Well, he wants to.
I hope I ain't got free time because I might.
Well, I mean, obviously, listen, you keep fighting here in this match. Well, I mean, time will tell. Time will definitely tell. But is there anybody? I'm curious.
We'll see.
I'm curious on that. But before we get to closing thoughts here and other things, is there anybody out there that you haven't wrestled yet that you really want to wrestle? I mean, I get some of the people in the chat. Some people different things like that. But is there anybody out there that you cross paths with that you would like to wrestle that you haven't yet?
Andrew Palace.
Oh, okay. All right. I know Andrew. That's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good one. It's a good name. It's a good name to mention. It's a good name.
Yeah, the best in Pittsburgh. Settle it once and for all. I'd be happy to get that challenge.
That do good. That what that would be. I would tell you what that would be very interesting to see you wrestle him again, or wrestle him for the first time, or wrestle again somewhere. Period. I don't know why, because he came here recently. I would love to see you and Ampo wrestle.
Who?
Ampo the Destroyer.
Yeah. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Yeah, that's a good point. And obviously, that's going to be some stuff there that we're excited about. And it is also today Brohemoth Day, and not to be confused with Dave Jameson. And we're not sure if I'll be here tomorrow, but I want to say Thursday night we're here with Timothy Titan, who I know is going to have plenty to say. And we'll have to see if maybe you and Tommy Horror play some games together. Tommy Horror is a big sports gamer, but you seem to be the true gamer. But we'll have to see about that. And Kevin from Ring Crew, I'm sure, will be lurking. And yeah, this is the spot. Before I let you go, I mean, literally, it felt like Lesnar and Angle here. I don't know why. Or Lesnar, it was Lesnar. No, Big Show and Lesnar. It was Big Show and Lesnar. That's right.
That won't hurt.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely hurt. Yeah, I could definitely see that. And Daniel Tafua's got his own opinions. He wants to see you with Sir Gannon or maybe Congo Kong.
Congo Kong would be one. He's definitely on that list.
That'd be a good one. How about you and Soul Taker?
I mean, I'm never one to back down from a challenge, but I've not wrestled Soul Taker yet, but I'm always up for the challenge.
Soul Taker's another guy to me. I look at, he's big, you're big. I mean, you've crossed paths in the same circles, and I mean, that would be a very, very intriguing match. And I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to make sure Timothy Titan, because I know Timothy Titan's going to have something to say here on Thursday. I'm going to remind Timothy Titan of this. and I'm going to tell Timothy Titan that whenever his wrestling feud, because I know he's got something up his sleeve. He's Timothy Titan. I'm going to tell Timothy Titan that he's got to find a way to see Brohemoth and Soul Taker. All souls matter or no souls matter against the Gigabyte Grizzly, the gaming monster. I mean, it sells itself. The amount of tickets that it would sell. I mean, so to me, I'm going to make sure Timothy Titan knows that he needs to find a way to get back into wrestling and put together a match between Brohemoth and Soul Taker. Just saying. Just saying. Yeah, we'll figure it out.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm ready.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And Cortez certainly is up for a challenge, but he needs to still go out there and train a little bit. But obviously, yes, we respect Brohemoth. We thank him. We thank Abby as well. We thank her for putting up with this show and everybody else. But before I let you go here, do you have any closing thoughts? Anything else you want to share that we haven't got a chance to talk about here tonight over the hour or so? Anything else that you want to bring up that we haven't got a chance to mention?
No, I think we covered everything I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I think we had an interesting conversation, definitely a different one, but that was the whole name of the game. We're not going to ask you about are you smarter than a fifth grader, that's for sure. But we'll put up your Instagram here one more time. You are. Well, I know that. I mean, I know you're smarter, by the way, than Jace Carr. I know you're smarter than Godric Sandwell and Dave Jamieson. Godric Sandwell was supposed to be the smartest one of everybody, and yet he did the worst.
He's sophisticated. He's not smart.
Well, you know what? Well, obviously, angels and demons. He may want to get his preferred beverage to study next time for the next time he gets asked those questions. Yeah, just like I might need a slap over my head for mentioning how beautiful Abby is every time I'm on the air the last 4 days. But that's okay. But we'll leave that at that. We thank her. We thank everybody else here for tuning in. You can follow Brohemoth on Instagram. It is Brohemoth Day on all Sportswire radio platforms. You can check him out, my friend. I'm going to pass the baton to you. I'm going to give you the floor. Anything else you want to plug, share, say, take it away.
Wrestling's for everyone to enjoy.
Yeah.
Feel that message gets lost, so I just felt I need to reiterate that. Wrestling is for everyone to enjoy.
I agree. I agree completely. In fact, I'm the guy. I'm about all wrestling matters. I definitely, I believe in giving everybody an opportunity. I love this sport. I cover all forms of it, and I think that wrestling is the one thing. It's the one universal language that connects us from all backgrounds. I've spoken to people from the UK. I've spoken to people from Australia, Canada, Scotland. I've had people from Rhino. I've had people down to Zilla here. Zilla's even been on Sportswire. So I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for wrestling. I wouldn't have got to 1,500 plus subscribers. I wouldn't have got Rhino. Really,
hey, everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, people would like me to hit the retire button soon, but yeah, I'll bring anybody on. If you connect me, I'll do it. Listen, I mean, I'll talk to we'll bring anybody on here. I've even done promo wrestling on here. So I try to give everybody an opportunity, and I agree with you. More wrestling matters. Wrestling is fun. It is I believe, the only sport out there where it can connect people from all types of backgrounds that would have nothing in common. And that's why we love it here. Like I said, I've had people from all over the place.
Brings everyone together.
That's it, man. You know what? Listen, I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to, probably over 1,000 people in wrestling in 5 years. I've spoken to British guys, indie guys, pro guys, backyard guys, underground guys, trampoline guys, under a ring guys. I've spoke to Kevin from Ring Crow. I've had promo wrestler. I mean, I've had them all. I've had Rhino, Gary Wolf, Pitbull, obviously #1. I mean, I've had Savio Vega. I've been, and I wouldn't have got to be featured in the heavy metal world. I got all the big bands because of the wrestling community. So, yeah, we've been about that. I'm about, I'm going to keep doing that. You better come back on Sportswire after you go beat up Daniel Tafua.
Oh, I'm coming back. Oh, for sure.
Well,
you'll see me with 2 belts.
Well, I owe Daniel Tafua an appearance, and that may be coming in the next week, because I think it's getting close to Daniel Tafua, so I can say Tafua. But yes, congratulations. Yes, congratulations for Brohemoth Day.
Thank you,
Happy
Noah.
Brohemoth Day, and thank you so much, everybody here, for tuning in, and thank you for everybody that has enjoyed this episode. Brohemoth, one more time, is on Instagram. You want to follow everybody else? Check out all the great wrestling companies he's a part of. 880 Wrestling. You can check out their YouTube stuff, 17,000 plus subscribers. You can see their content from amazing, amazing product, just great. Almost fits in line with what we have to offer. Indie Wrestling US. You can also check out some other places that Brohemoth is a part of. You're going to see him coming up in a number of different places. You can see some of the old content from KSWA. Just look him up. There's plenty of content. Please support all the great companies out there. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. Thank you very much, obviously, to Cortez, the lovely Abby. Thank you for putting up with us, and we appreciate you, and definitely a memorable evening, to say the least. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all music and wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, we're going back to your regular scheduled programming. And Daniel Tafua, he really, I tell you what, he's got gumption. I'm going to say it. I don't know if it's just gumption or it's just he's got a death wish. But I'm going with gumption so far. But who knows? Who knows? But let's end on a positive. This is the gaming monster, the Gigabyte Grizzly. The wrestling is for everyone champion, the reigning, defending champion, the legendary Brohemoth. And the next time Brohemoth comes on the Sportswire Radio, he will join the Hall of Fame.
Thanks for having me.
He is a Hall of Famer. Yes, thank you. He is a Hall of Famer. Timothy Titan's here Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern time. But until then, yeah, me too. Oh, I can't wait. Timothy Titan always brings a crowd. When Timothy Titan comes onto Sportswire, it's almost like pay-per-view. It's like, get the popcorn ready, that preferred beverage, like Godric Sandwell says, and just sit back, because Timothy Titan on Sportswire is definitely main event. I can't wait to be back in prime time when the brightest lights, the biggest stage, baby, when Timothy Titan comes on here. Yeah, but thank you, everybody. Love you all. And especially to our friends Abby, and see you later, Cortez, and stay in school. But thank you, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. On the number one Global Radio, to Sports Radio, where all music and wrestling rise. Have a great night, everybody.